There is nothing wrong with your internet. Do not attempt to adjust your settings. We are controlling the podcast. We control the squealing and the screams. We can make your heart flutter, your eyes blur from tears, or sharpen your mind to crystal clarity. For the next hour, sit back. We are in control of what you hear. We repeat, there is nothing wrong with your settings. You are about to experience the awe and mystery known as the female mind. You are now entering the Fangirl Zone. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sci-Fi Talk on the Fangirl Zone, a podcast where we discuss shows on the Sci-Fi Channel. I'm Sean, Fangirl S.
And I'm Steve, and today we'll be discussing episode 3 of season 1 of Resident Alien.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I was cracking up.
Yes.
And it just got, I can't say got worse, but like me laughing got worse.
Yes.
Because, oh man, Jason walks in, he goes, "What are you laughing at?" Because I was watching it in the other room.
Right.
And when I told him, I thought he was going to die.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh my God." He's like, "I can't believe, really? They said that?" I'm like, mm-hmm.
Yep.
And it just keeps coming. I'm like, all right, you really need to sit down and watch this with me because he hasn't had a chance yet. And yeah, I think this will be something he'll get a kick out of. But
yes.
so if you have a significant other or friend with a very strange sense of humor, very juvenile sense of humor, I definitely recommend this show.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So what did you think about this episode?
It was a nonstop riot. I mean, it just fast paced. It's beginning to be a little bit like Lower Decks with just so much going on. And it just kind of flies through. You barely get a chance to catch your breath and you're cracking up again. So,
yeah, I'm enjoying it. So it's not as raunchy as Happy, which
no,
I think that makes me happy. And it's definitely not as weird as some of the other shows that we've watched.
Yeah.
Like, as in just weird, strange, but it's fun. So again, highly recommend it. So let's jump into episode 3. Secret. Harry races to keep his secret safe as Asta is forced to face her own past. It's so sad.
Yeah.
So much stuff happened and it was like, All right, so let's start with the lake. We had that nice little monologue happening and that far-off shot of the fisherman, and you come close, and all of a sudden, what gets fished out of the lake? A foot.
Yes.
We are assuming, because even though, it's pretty close and probably going to be real Harry's foot, you never know.
That's right. It's possible it could be anybody's.
Yeah, you never know. But it turns out it's just some other like old grizzled kind of fisherman. It's like, oh, okay, not Harry finding possible Harry's foot. So this is probably not a good thing.
No, trouble is on the horizon for Harry.
And see, I don't know, now that we have like Harry and then Alien Harry, I feel like I don't know how to say them. But anyway, our alien is starting to, I don't know, get emotions and he's confused of what's happening. And he has insomnia. Now, first of all, when he was explaining insomnia as he laid in bed, I was like, I feel you. I 100% feel you. Oh my gosh. How many of us have not had a night like that? Come on.
Oh, yeah.
You're just laying there and you're like, just let it be 6 o'clock.
Yes.
Or you're doing that math in your head. If I fall asleep right now, I can still get. I hate that. I do that way too often. It hasn't gotten better being home and being able to just go to sleep at a normal hour either.
Right.
But anyway, and then we see Harry go up into the mountains, and I love the like thought process. He's talking and he's like, I've been searching all over and finally find this, and we see him find another piece of his ship, which is like, okay, that's great.
Right.
But then you have a controlled avalanche happening, which I thought was funny watching the ski patrol, I guess is who would be doing that, which I don't know, because obviously I am not a person who lives up in the mountains and knows about this. I literally learned about this watching The Stand and watching this now about controlled avalanches. I seriously never knew because it's flat by me.
Right, yes.
And so I'm like, okay, this is something, but shouldn't there be warnings everywhere? Or is he just not paying attention? I don't know what the situation is. But honestly, I will tell you, I thought it was going to be somebody who got stuck on his machine again.
Right.
I guess it's better because they had radios.
Yeah.
Although we do find out, hey, they might finally get a pizza place in town.
Yeah.
I feel like that. Yeah, I feel like it's going to be some weird thing. I don't know why. Let me ask you though, real quick, and I guess it's a little off topic. When they did the little flashback from last episode,
Okay.
and we see the two people taking pictures, are those the people that we see later in the episode?
Yes.
The same people? Okay.
Yes.
I wasn't 100%.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I just wasn't 100% with it. So that's why I'm like, is it the same or is it different? Because I didn't go back.
Right.
But anyway, so Harry managed to escape the controlled avalanche by hiding by a tree, which I'm thinking, if that was really coming down, that tree isn't going to do much.
No.
But apparently he was far enough away, it was okay.
Apparently.
And then
it just barely nicked where he was at, I guess. I mean...
He was pissed, though.
Oh, yeah. Going to take him another couple of weeks to get back to where he was.
I know. I feel like he can be like, okay, I know it's here, but now it's under all this extra snow.
Right.
And if you're really high enough up, I mean, is the snow even going to really melt no matter how warm it gets? I mean, Colorado stays pretty chilly, I thought. I mean, granted, I went camping. It was a long, long time ago. But it was, like, I swear, even in the middle of summer, it was still kind of chilly out there. I know at night it sucked.
Yes.
Like, do not sleep on the ground. Get something to raise up your sleeping bag. I'm just throwing that out there if you're ever going to go camping. For those of us who weren't aware of that, man, it was cold up in Rocky Mountain National Park.
Yeah.
That ground. Anyway, let's move on. Yes, I'm chasing the squirrels today, people. I'm so sorry. We get Max's mom basically barge into Harry's place. When she showed up, I'm like, why is she there?
Right.
I was like, oh, God, please don't tell me they were having some weird affair, like beforehand or something.
Right.
Because seriously, I'm like, what? Especially when she pushes in after he's like, hold on a moment.
Yeah, and you hear all this noise, and she looks like, what the hell's going on in there? He's just moving his map.
I thought it was weird, and I'm like, oh no, this is going to go really weird, and I was very happy it didn't.
Right.
But apparently she just needs help, because Max and talking about, aliens, and you're an alien, and he's not sleeping, he's not eating, blah, blah, and you see Harry kind of grab the knife, like, okay, I got to take care of her, and I'm like, oh my God.
Yes. Don't do it, Harry. It's going to get so much worse before it gets better.
Right? And when he just pops up with, oh, yes, he's imagining everything, he just wants attention. She's like, well, I do try to avoid him during the day. Now, at that point, when she says that, I do try to avoid him, I'm like, what? Like, I'm glad that she went on and said working at the same school.
Right.
Because at first I'm like, why would she be avoiding him?
Yeah.
Like, wow, that's like harsh. So at least that makes a little more sense.
No, not really, especially when we see later on what happens.
Right. No, but I didn't realize that she was working at the school.
Right, yeah.
That's why
at the same school.
When she just said it, I'm like, wow, okay, I'm going to ignore my kid during the day. I'll pay attention at night. And it made sense, like I said, after the fact. But like during it, I was like, oh, okay, this is weird, Mom. I love it. And Harry's like, yes, it's your fault. See yourself out.
I loved his first idea was to just move away. Move as far away from Colorado as you can.
I hear they need mayors in Scotland.
Yeah.
But the way he says it, see, I really thought, I'm like, okay, he's been here X amount of time, been watching TV, around people, that he was going to figure out how to say something like, tell him that and he'll stop acting like this, like
right,
like a bluff. And when he's like, haha, of course you're not moving. The laughing, oh my God, that's killing me.
Yes.
He's killing me with this. I don't know how Alan Tudyk is able to do this with a straight face. That's all. I know I said that before, but holy crap, like it's killing me.
Yep.
And then we get to see, assuming same day, just a little later, Harry in town waiting for Max to go past, and Max notices all his alien posters are ripped down. Now, of course, Max and I are both assuming it's Harry, but maybe not after what we see later on.
Right.
So Harry talking to Max, is that actually Alan Tudyk in makeup though?
I bet it is.
I think it might be.
Yep.
Which makes it even funnier.
Oh, yeah. This was
So-
hilarious back and forth. Two children arguing.
But he calls him an asshole. I'm like, yeah, that's a bad word. The amount of language dropped during this episode, well, actually, all the episodes so far, just like, wow, okay. I
Yes.
know it's, sci-fi can get away with it. I think it's funny.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm a child, apparently. But I love it. Then Harry was like, just telling Max, fine, go shout it from the highest tower
Yeah.
that there's an alien. And I get it because, yeah, that is like a saying.
Right.
I will. And he's like, we don't have towers.
You idiot.
We're not. We're not in, what is it, like olden times or whatever.
Yeah.
But he's like, I didn't really mean it. He's like, yeah, you did. You think we have towers. And I'm like, what is happening? Seriously, like you watch this and you're just like,
Yeah.
why? Stop. Stop. You two are making me crazy.
Yep.
And then when he's cussing at him like under his breath when he leaves. Oh, I love that too. Jerk. Because I'm like, how many people haven't done that to somebody? And come on, Steve, we both worked retail.
Absolutely.
You get that from you're like, idiot, as they walk
Mhm.
away. Yes, if you haven't worked retail and you start throwing a fit about something, that's what happens when you walk away. I'm just telling you.
Exactly.
I'm going to be honest with you. Yeah. Anyway, I love the diner scene too, because Harry's just sitting there eating slowly. But we see that Max has finally found like help, basically.
Yeah, a cohort.
Because earlier we see these bullies at school bully Max about his tinfoil hat, which, first of all, come on.
Yes.
You had to expect that coming. And bully a little girl because she's different. She had, I don't know what it's called, but she had a scarf like around her head to cover her hair.
Right.
So I think that's Muslim. I'm not sure, Muslim religion. But I'm like, oh, God, why do we always have to have... It just makes me mad.
Right.
I kind of wanted her to punch him, but...
But Max does help her pick up her stuff, so.
Yeah. And then we also see, after his mom decided to try to make contact at school in the lunchroom, it's like, please don't.
Yes.
Please don't.
You're making
Like,
my
you
life
even-
so much worse, Mom. You don't
Like,
know.
I was cringing. I'm like, no. And of course, then the bullies like throw his alien poster at him. And that's why I'm like, maybe it wasn't Harry that tore them down.
Right.
Maybe it was these kids. You never
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
But there's always going to be jerks in school somewhere.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But we see the little girl, Sahal, come and sit with him. And I love it that Mac's like, great, are you going to make fun of me? And she's like, no, I believe you. So again, cohort, right? He's
Yes.
got partner in crime. And I'm thinking as we see them at the diner, I'm like, is this supposed to be the same day? Are they supposed to be in school? What's going on?
I think it's probably shortly after they got out of school. It's
Okay.
still early enough for Harry to have lunch, a late lunch, but at least a lunch.
Yeah. And you hear him in the voiceover talking about how everybody has to have a pack and eat together. And I think that's weird. And he's just sitting there eating. And you see Max, and there he
Awkwardly,
is.
too.
Yeah.
Just,
Well, I don't know. Like, I have gone places to eat by myself, like when I was in school, in between classes, if I had a long break or something.
right.
And I always felt awkward eating by myself.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like, maybe I didn't think it was so awkward just because, like, I've always felt awkward. But again, projecting.
Yes.
But here's my question for you, because we see Max go, there he is. He's disgusting. And Sahal's like, yes, disgusting. I need a closer look. But when they pull the camera back, first we get Max's view, which you can obviously see the alien.
Right.
And then when Sahal's going to talk, we see just Harry.
Right.
So are we just seeing the view that they were showing us for, okay, they are talking about Harry specifically, or are we seeing that Sahal doesn't really see the alien, but she wanted a friend?
I think that she does not see Harry as an alien, but she believes that Max can see him as an alien.
Okay.
And yeah, I think she really needed a friend. And so, yeah, this will work.
Okay. Well, I love Sahal's like, I need a closer look. So she just goes randomly. It's not even like the bathroom was over there. She just goes over by the table next to him and looks at him and then walks and knocks his water over. It's like, okay, do you think this is like signs the water is going to hurt him?
Yeah.
Probably not.
I think she was just wanting to see how he would react.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. See if she can get anything a reaction that isn't quite human to give her some more proof that it actually is an alien that looks like a human.
I didn't think about that. Okay.
Yeah, I think Sahal's a pretty sharp little girl.
Yeah, I think she's pretty quick, especially, like later. I think it's going to really come into play.
Yeah.
Because why are you going to just throw somebody in and then that'll be it?
Yeah.
Not that we haven't had that happen before in shows, so you never know. But the foot. Let's go back to the foot. The
yes.
foot is brought to town. Dun, dun, dun. And the sheriff thinks the foot is there because we have a serial killer in town. What?
Yes.
What kind of jump? Really, what kind of jump is this?
It's the easy way out for him. Because he actually says, yeah, it'd be so much harder to figure out two different killers, but if it's a serial killer, that's easy. It's like, really?
Seriously, he seems like, all right, you're this big badass sheriff and you know all this stuff, and then you say something like this, and then you see the interactions, with Liv, and you're just like, you're just an idiot.
Yes.
That's got a bully complex. I don't know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Harry and Liv. Those two. Liv is so awkward because she's just been, I want to say beat down, but obviously
absolutely.
physically,
she's been
but yes.
beat down emotionally.
Yes, thank you.
By Mike. There is no doubt in my mind that he keeps her feeling like she's an inch tall all the time.
And that's so stupid.
Yes, because she's very intelligent.
Yes. And I swear, I think maybe she should run against him as sheriff.
Yes.
Because he's a jerk. But anyway, those Harry and Liv talk. It's like, well, yeah, we found this or this was brought in and we're not sure what it is. And, she's making sense. The sheriff is not. And then the sheriff, of course, when he's talking to some of the townspeople, because there wasn't that many there, it was kind of amusing because he's,
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
An REI store.
A sweaty REI store. Yeah, I love it. And then when everyone be quiet, I want to be able to hear a mouse piss on cotton. And I love everyone's face. He's like, do you understand me? And everyone's like, nope.
Nope. Not a word that he said.
They all look around like, what is he talking about? It's
and Harry's, I'm scared.
Yeah. Doc, what do you think? I am frightened.
Yes.
That was good, though. I really like that. And you see a bunch of people they leave.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I don't know why I thought that part was so funny because it was so stupid.
Right. But it was very sad when Harry and Liv are talking that Liv lets him know that she did one of those DNA tests.
Oh my gosh. That was heartbreaking.
Yes, that it wasn't her dad wasn't her father. It was his best friend. And that caused them to break up. And oh man.
Yeah. Apparently that's going around in this town. I'm just,
yes. So
it
that was heartbreaking.
Oh. Yeah, but then she throws the idea out. Yeah, the only people that aren't in the database are
hermits and babies.
Thank you, hermits and babies. I couldn't think of what she said. I was like, holy crap. And of course he's like, oh no.
And he runs off with the foot in the bucket.
I'm sorry, but when you see him with the foot on his desk and then his barefoot.
Oh, it's definitely mine.
And I'm like, all right, did the weird things I think about. All right, I think you guys know by now. I just have weird thoughts. It's like, did he have to do one of those body casts basically? And they had to do one specifically for his foot?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, I was looking at it. I'm like, yeah, that toe looks kind of weird on both. Okay, yeah. I did not pause it. I did not really look, but I'm just like, okay, that looks a little different. But I'm just thinking, this is so weird.
Yeah.
And then when Asta walks in, she's like, oh, okay, when you're done being weird,
yeah,
we people need to see you. And as he's putting his socks and shoe back on, the sheriff comes in and he was just mad. He's like, there's my foot. It's like, I need that bucket back. And he's like, well, I need to keep the foot. And I'm a pathologist, so you don't need to send this. He's like, good, just give me some skin for the DNA test. And then he reaches in the bucket. He's like, because this is Liv's bucket. This is her favorite bucket. I'm like, favorite bucket?
Right. Yeah. What?
Is that a thing?
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't ever known a woman that has a favorite bucket that she keeps her drinks in.
Yeah. And
of
I'm
course,
sorry.
I wasn't raised out in the country either. So
Still a point of contention for me because he's like, she keeps her soda in here. Not soda, it's pop. But obviously, all depends where you grow up. What do you call it?
yeah.
And that's a whole other argument. That was what I was going to say. I'm like, wait a minute. You put the foot on top of the ice that already had pop
Drinks
in
in
the
'em.
bucket. Oh my God. And then just cracks it open, not even like kind of wipe off the lid,
No.
the top. Now, I do that anyway. I always wipe off the top of the can,
Yeah.
but I'm like, especially when he's talking about it. It made his office smell like bad sushi. And I'm like, oh,
Right.
and you're drinking? Oh. Yeah, I was really grossed out. Like, ugh.
And of course, he tells Harry he'll be in the waiting room waiting for his piece of skin,
Yeah.
all threatening. And then we go somewhere I was not expecting us to go. And this got really awkward as Harry is talking to these two brand new parents and their baby who's not quite feeling up to par.
Oh my God. That was so funny. I'm just,
And every time Harry opens his mouth, Astra's like, what is coming out of your mouth, Harry? Because he brings up circumcision immediately.
oh my God.
Oh, and it can keep him healthy from STDs and what?
I love it. They're like, what? Really? And I'm thinking,
Yeah. Not in any book I've ever read.
yeah, I'm like, I think there's probably a whole lot of people that would
Tend to
disagree
with that, yeah.
But then he walks out with, obviously he talked him into it, because he walks out with a DNA sample and it says DNA from dead foot
Yes.
or whatever. I'm like, oh my God. Yeah. And our sheriff was just like, good. All right. Bye. Seriously. Just mad about everything.
Yes, absolutely.
And the next morning, apparently super bright and early, we have the sheriff, Liv, and others at Harry's property to dredge a lake. Is there no other boat launch?
On this lake?
It's like the only launch is at Harry's place. This just seems really odd.
Right. I agree. It is extremely odd that there's only one flat area to launch a boat on a lake,
And they
even
set
if
up
it
their
is
whole
high in the
camp.
Colorado mountains.
They set up their whole little camp. I love that. Yeah, because somehow I don't think that old guy, that fisherman that was there, was on Harry's property.
I wouldn't think so, but Harry,
The one who originally found the foot.
Right,
you know?
yeah. I have a feeling that that's probably the easiest launch to get to, and that's why the sheriff is using it.
And I think he just wanted to piss off Harry.
Oh, yeah.
Ultimately. Because Harry comes out, he's like, this body needs 10 hours of sleep, and I didn't even get 6. And I love it. He's like, oh, wait. I'm like, is this all still because of the bowling?
Oh, absolutely.
But come on, with the sheriff. And he's like, I feel it in my balls. And Harry, you shouldn't believe your balls because they're nuts. Not realizing he made a joke. And I thought it was funny. And then when he had to explain it again, it's like, oh, now I'm cringing. And Liv was like, okay, this is getting weird. Let's do something else. Anything
Right.
else? I don't want to hear this.
Yeah. And the mayor's not real happy either.
Oh my
He's like,
God.
we can't pay for this. There's just no way we can dredge the whole lake and pay for it.
There's no money in the budget.
Yeah.
So
As
apparently,
he pops his snacks. And we're not paying for these snacks as he pops one in and finds out, oh no, that's bison for Cletus. Oh,
yeah, those are dog treats. I'm like, oh my God, how many did you eat?
yeah.
Now, okay, this is awkward story because my dog's dog food is, I think, made with bison actually too. And if you ever listen to some of our old stuff, our podcaster Jessica was over with her first child when he was very young. Little Liam decided to help himself to some of the dog food. And I immediately thought about this when we see the mayor eating the dog treats.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, Liam survived. He's all right.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's human grade. I wouldn't eat it, but hey,
Right.
I guess if you're in a pinch or you're a small child. But yeah, that was just I could totally be on the side of the mayor here. Come on.
Right.
Because I think if I did, I'd be like, ooh. But I will tell you, I'm just sharing all the family secrets now. I don't remember which one, but one of Jason's cousins was dared to eat something. And so, like, she ate it, and I can't remember if it was a sausage or what. And she's like, this just tastes weird. And then they finally told her it was a dog treat. So, I mean, come on. Like, kids do this crap all the time.
Yep.
So the mayor, it's all in your head. You're
Right.
going to be stuck there, and you're not going to be able to get it out. And I'm going to forever see him eating dog treats no matter what happens.
Yeah. But I love it. Darcy comes into the clinic and asks about her sexy ass in a Russian accent.
I have a rush.
Yeah, on my ass.
Yeah, I thought that was funny too, the whole little thing. 'Cause at first you're like, all right, this is just kind of a random moment. But it's like, all right, Asta has had like a lot of stuff happen.
Right.
And so I can see it. It's like, okay, you need to get her out. And yeah, they go to watch the lake being dredged because apparently that's the hot ticket.
Right.
Small town. And when they start talking about Darcy's prom date and then like they start dancing and singing and I'm like, okay, that's funny. They're just getting drunk.
Right.
It's amusing.
Yes.
And I'm like, all right, this is real. And this is something I want to say that I really enjoy about the show, that like the characters and not necessarily the storyline, but the characters feel like real.
Right.
Like there's some stuff that you see and the characters are like, okay, you're supposed to be this small town doctor, except you are like looking like this runway model and you know, like you're wearing Ferragamo and everything. You know, like these people, they're wearing like jeans and
right.
And like flannels and just look like, okay, yeah, they might actually go out and like have a beer and like hang out together. Like I like that.
Yep.
It feels real with the characters. And in no way is that like a critique like that this is bad.
Right.
I just really like that you can relate to what they're doing. And
yes.
You know, even more what happens because they end up over at Harry's house because they need the bathroom, which we'll talk about that later. But yeah, right. And again, maybe this is just a girl thing because yeah, we tend to go to the bathroom together, but even a small bathroom like that, it's a single bathroom. I've totally done that with my friends.
Right.
Like we've gone out, like you're in there together talking and whatever. And you see Darcy like going through the medicine cabinet and just talking on her. Like this just feels real.
Yes.
And stupid and funny, but real.
Yeah.
And I loved it. And I mean, obviously we have more to talk about, but just the way it was happening, I'm like, yes, I am relating with these characters. Like, I feel like I can relate more than, you know, some of our other shows that we watch that are out there. Of course, you know, the space ones, I'm not exactly relating to.
Yes.
Not out there. But let's talk for a minute kind of about space. And it's a flashback about when Harry first, well, it's not Harry. I wish they told us his name, his alien name.
Right.
But anyway, our alien Harry.
Pronounce it.
When he crashed, because apparently he was alone for like 2 weeks.
Right.
And he ends up in New Mexico, which how the heck did he end up there?
Right. With his ship parts in Colorado. Did he bail? I mean, was
that like a heck of an ejection?
Yes, an ejection seat on his ship.
And not just that, then where's the rest of his ship? If he's just looking for the pieces.
Right. There's got to be. I mean,
where's the big part?
Yes, exactly.
Like, this is really weird. Like, they didn't explain that. I don't know if they're going to.
I know.
But he ends up running into a cowboy, which that was amusing.
Yes.
The guy runs off.
Apparently also has the same gene that Max does because it scares the horse and it scares him as well.
Well, see, I think at this point he hadn't changed into anything.
Right. That's true. That's
so,
true.
I mean, if he's not changing, then obviously you can see him.
Anybody could see him, yeah.
Yeah. But he takes the horse and the hat that the cowboy, dropped. I loved it. It let him make bold choices. I love how he said that. Bold fashion choices.
Yes.
And when he was riding the horse, did you notice it was like the little arms that were
that were holding the reins.
It's like do. These are my strong arms.
And the big arms are just drooping down the side, and I immediately thought of Saru walking as they just kind of swing by his side.
Yeah, I just thought it was like really funny, like seeing this, and yes, makes me wonder. Okay, they can't have just thrown him in randomly, right?
Right.
Which we do get him at the end, which
Yes,
really
we do.
threw me off.
Yeah.
Let's get back to the lake real quick. We have the mayor vomiting over the side. And I love it because Liv is trying her darndest to get back to shore, whether for him or for her. And Sheriff is like, nope,
Yeah.
you keep doing that. It's like, and first of all, it's at night.
Yes.
So what are you seeing?
Right.
Are you really just dragging? I mean, you don't know what's going on. I don't think they normally do that at night anyway.
No. But he's determined to get it done.
Yeah, and you just hear the mayor vomiting and vomiting.
Liv goes, well, if there's a body, it's going to be heading up to shore. So another one of her, she's more intelligent than him moments that he just puts her down for.
And I love it because you hear the mayor, all I taste is those dog treats.
He's seasick too.
Yeah. And I'm like, all right, that's a pretty calm lake. So
yeah.
I don't know how you're seasick, but all right. But hey, you know who is doing okay is Cletus, who is barking, and Harry's like, oh crap. So he's basically fighting with the dog because guess what? Liv was right. The body washed up on shore. And at this point, we do get to see, yes, it was the real Harry's body.
Right.
So probably not another random person, although how weird would that be?
Yes.
So Harry gets the body away from the dog, takes him inside, and that's when Asta and Darcy knock on the door and he just throws the body on the ground, like behind the couch. Like, yep, yeah, go ahead. Bathroom over there. And he hurries up and gets the body
doing
down
absolutely
into the
nothing, but I'm real busy at it.
Oh my God. This is just too stupid and funny, though.
Yes.
He gets the body downstairs, manages to hide it, and comes up before Darcy and Asta come out of the bathroom. And I love it because Darcy's like, he's so into me. I'm like, no, I don't think he's into anything.
Again, and actually pulls her shirt almost up to.
I love it. Yeah, because Asta's like, come on, let's go. Talking about a party. Yeah, my ex invited me to a party. And this makes me wonder because once we find out what's going on at the party,
right?
Did her ex actually invite her or did she just hear about this randomly?
I think she just heard about it randomly.
Okay.
Because both her ex and his son have the same name.
Gotcha.
So
okay.
Yeah, this is not an adult party.
No. And it's funnier because Asta's sister shows up.
Dressed to the nines.
Yeah, she's like, I took 30-minute drive and had to get a babysitter and I am getting drunk. I don't care. I need this. I need a date, timeout, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, then they figure out it's a high school party and her sister's like, I'm out.
Yeah. So disappointed.
Yeah. And it's funny because Darcy's like, how was I supposed to know that my narcissistic ex-boyfriend, whose kid is named after him, isn't in town and it's actually his kid's party?
Right. Yeah.
But earlier in the episode, we had seen Asta notice that there was a missing script pad because of the numbers. And suddenly there's a kid trying to party with them with some drugs. And she's like, wait a second, this was written after the doctor died. I'm taking this or I'm calling the cops. And the kid's like, all right.
Yeah.
And they happen to see Jade and she's passed out. So they pick her up and take her home. And Asta's like, okay, great. Is this actually her taking the script? What could it be? Although I do have a theory.
Yes.
I actually think it's the wife because the wife is cleaning out all the desks that maybe she took one and because her husband's dead, she doesn't have that money coming in, or maybe she was doing that before and he never noticed.
Right. That's possible.
I mean, just random thought, maybe. That's my tinfoil hat theory, which we see in Tinfoil Hat.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm sure that's going to be a thing with the aliens.
Yeah.
Anyway, we see them take Jay home. And then we have a flashback with Asta giving up her daughter to that house and everything. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's her kid. Holy crap.
Yes. Oh, no.
Like, I didn't put it together before that. Did you?
No.
Okay. I was really thinking, I'm like, am I this far behind?
No. No, we knew she had a kid. We didn't know it was a daughter. So
I swear I thought she said it was a boy.
Yeah.
But like, I don't remember and I didn't go back. And then like in the morning, we see Asta talking to her dad and, he cooked this whole big breakfast and she is asking him questions like, did I do the right thing? What if she needs me? And he's like, well, you're always going to be connected because he doesn't know at this point that it's Jade.
Right.
So it just makes me wonder. It's like, okay, is this going to blow up basically in their faces?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. This will not have a happy ending, I don't think, if this secret really gets out there.
Yeah, I concur. And I kind of bounced around because that went from night to day with that. But
Yeah.
I mean, what are you going to do? But we go back at night to the lake, and the sheriff at some point finally tells Harry, okay, we're done for the night. And Cletus starts barking and runs down the basement. And I'm sorry, this sheriff is totally not doing stuff by the book.
Oh, absolutely.
And he's like, pushes back. What do you got, Cletus? What do you got? We see Cletus in the basement and by a freezer, and the sheriff just opens it up. It's like, first of all, do you know how many laws you're breaking?
Yes.
And if you were to actually find something, what is not admissible, because it's fruit of the poisonous tree. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, the little bit that I do remember from my criminal justice degree. But the sheriff opens. He's like, oh, no wonder Cletus was going crazy. What do we have here? And pulls up a package that says bison. He's like, he loves bison. I'm kind of shocked that Harry didn't just say, well, you know, go ahead. You can have that.
Right.
You know, something. But he's like, well, I know where to come if I need meat. And I'm thinking, no, the grocery store?
Right.
Not here, because nobody wants you around. You are crabby.
Yeah.
And don't do things well.
No.
And you treat Liv horribly. We don't want you around.
Yeah. He needs to take some edibles.
Something, geez.
Chill.
But let's go back to New Mexico, because like I said, we weren't seeing the end. Oh, I'm sorry. I almost forgot that pull back and you see deep in the freezer. Yes, there's the other Harry spot.
Right. Yeah.
That he has to get rid of somehow. I'm like, oh, bonfire? I don't know. Something.
Yeah. Something. He's got to chop it up.
Ugh.
Jesus.
Are there bears? I don't know. Anyway, New Mexico. So we see the cowboy at a bar telling a story about the alien and how he kicked his ass. And,
Yeah.
I'm like, really? And how he's writing a book and this is great. And he's like, you'll just have to read my book. And I'm thinking, okay, are these two people alien? Like, did they send some other ones?
Right. When Harry's job didn't go as planned and they haven't heard from him, yeah, you would think that they would send out scouts to find out what's going on. So I kind of was thinking the same thing was, yeah, these could be alien.
Because at the end, they go out to the parking lot and the female ends up snapping the guy's neck and taking the book and like money to make it look like a robbery. So I'm totally like, holy crap.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, we're not supposed to kill anybody. We're just supposed to question him. She's like, well, you and I have different orders. And I'm like, oh my God, they sent more aliens.
Yes.
What does this mean for Harry? Are they going to kill him?
Right.
Like I was not feeling good for Harry at this point.
No.
So I was like super worried and I didn't know what to think, but I won't know what to think till we get to our next episode.
Yeah.
But hey, we got some people who wanted to chime in and tell us what they thought.
Yes, we do. We've got some feedback from Jazz. So let's hear what she thought about this episode.
Hello, this is Jazz giving a review of Resident Alien Episode 3, I think. It was definitely a cool show. I'm enjoying it a lot. I think it has a lot of humor, and it zigs and zags in areas I didn't expect, because I've been a long-time sci-fi person. So I wasn't expecting to see a foot in a box or a bucket that you actually literally put soda pop in. The sheriff was very interested in getting back to Liv, which I thought was cool. He actually showed some appreciation for her, which was novel and good to see. And my first thought was just, ew, that has like toe crap on the can. That's just gross. But, you know, not that surprising. I thought it was very novel for him to figure out a way to get DNA from somebody else, since Liv had said, you know, only hermits and babies are not in the database. So, and, you know, you never know, he might do a Thelma and Louise, or rather a fried green tomatoes, and decide to eat the bison and his namesake, you know, all you need's a good thing of barbecue sauce, and there goes your evidence. So, but they're probably not going to do that because that'd be an easy out. But definitely different, and when you put locks on things, then people get more interested about what's inside the locked box. So that's done for the prescriptions as well as for the basement. Makes sense. Wouldn't surprise me any if any of the high schoolers were selling drugs off of the prescription pad. It'd be a shame if her possibly a daughter that she gave up was the person who did that. But who else had access? Suppose it could be anybody, since the sheriff is there a lot, but doubt it's him. Suppose it could be the mayor. He seems to be a little off. So, anyways, very interesting show. Enjoying it a lot. Some parts are weirder than others, but that's still cool. And enjoying your reviews of the show. Thanks. Bye.
Yeah, it definitely has some weird spots, that's for sure, Jazz.
But isn't that why we like it?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I guess I'll give Sheriff Mike that point for wanting to get Liv's can back to her bucket. So
That's just weird.
yeah, it's still weird. And yeah, we both agree with you that Sheriff Mike should have at least wiped the top of that can off. Because there's no telling what he's putting in his mouth there.
Yeah, like not think about that. And in regards to, oh hey, let's barbecue. I don't know. He's basically been in water for a while, so I don't think it would turn out so great.
Yeah,
Just personally.
I'm not sure Harry's into meat.
Yeah, I mean, he was all about raw milk, unfiltered milk.
Yes. Now, we have seen him try to eat meat before, but I think that may be just not his thing. But I guess we'll find out in the future episodes if he can.
Well, he did eat chicken.
Yeah, he did try to eat the chicken when he was trying to learn how to eat. Not very well.
Yeah.
And we saw what he did with the hot dog.
Oh, God. He's not good.
Yeah.
Ay, ay, ay.
Once again, Jazz, we really appreciate your feedback and looking forward to hearing from you again. And do we have some more feedback, Sean?
We do. We got a little blurb from Jason, aka Geek in Wisconsin, or you can find him as Geek in WI on like Instagram and Twitter. I don't know if my opinion is podcast worthy, but I love this show. Alan Tudyk is comedic gold. I find myself constantly laughing, which has not happened with a TV show in a long time. I look forward to each new episode. It's such a unique idea for a show. So I love that, and I'm sure they probably love that too.
Yes.
And you know what? I do have to agree because we've seen so many remakes and so many just rehashes of the same thing over and over.
Right.
And somebody may tell me, oh no, this is just like XYZ, but hey, I have no idea because I feel like this is a unique idea.
Yes.
Because I don't think it's like Roswell. I don't think it's, like any other kind of alien. What X-Files? Definitely not like X-Files.
Right.
So I'm loving this. I'm glad you're liking this, Jason. Hopefully there's a lot of other people out there liking it. I mean, we see them tweeting along with us, so I'm going to guess that yes, they do.
Yes, and we definitely want to say thank you to all the people that are tweeting with us on Wednesday nights because it is a blast.
I did end up missing it because of another appointment that I had, but it was so fun watching it and just going back and reading some of the comments, which is what really got me.
Yes,
I'm like,
and Corey has been very active, that's for sure. And yeah, he actually replied to me on one or two of the tweets that I sent towards his way.
Yeah, this cast, I am going to do my best to try to get somebody to join us. And even if it's like a special episode that we do with them, I don't know who I might get, but they are pretty funny. So hopefully we can get somebody on here. So that being said, if any of you have thoughts on anything, let us know. Shoot us an email at contactus@fangirlzone.com, and you can tell us your thoughts on the show or questions, or if you've seen this before, something like this. Definitely want to know. And while you're at it, if you can rate and review us on iTunes and every other platform you find us on, because good ratings and reviews help other fans of the show find us. Tell your friends about this podcast and the show, mostly the show, because oh my gosh. I mean, granted, we want you to listen to the podcast. So yeah, tell your friends. But tell them about the show because this is too funny. And I don't think anybody would be too disappointed.
No.
And you can always check us out at www.fangirlzone.com. The contacts page is the easiest way to see where we are everywhere because we are everywhere. And for this episode of Sci-Fi Talk, I am Sean Fangirl S.
And I'm Steve. Fear is such a great motivator.
And until next time.